Welcome back for another video. 4-mil defenders coming in clutch again, 52 points all out. It was Rodon and Enzo that joined the team last game week, and it was Enzo that I had really high hopes for, home to Sunderland, but it was Rodon who set the tone for the game week with a goal, 11 defensive contributions and maximum bonus for a 13-pointer in the first game of the game week. You might have seen my FPL walk video I did of Harry and Ross, who came over to watch the games on the weekend. Harry started Rodon, Ross benched him, so emotions were running high, I'll put it that way. Another Arsenal clean sheet as well. Gabriel got the start in the end after some question marks there. That's 6 clean sheets in 9 for Arsenal. On average, a goal conceded every 3 games is wild. Haaland remains the only player who's even scored an open play against Arsenal this season. There were some disappointments, if I'm allowed to say that, after a Rodon haul. Like, the entire midfield blanked in Dice, Semenyo, Bruno and Enzo. Well, Bruno did get DEFCON points. Are you guys counting 2 DEFCON points as a return, or is that a blank? Captain Haaland blanking as well. That's the first time since Gameweek 2 that he's failed to score in the Premier League, which is also wild. João Pedro and Gyökeres with 5 blanks in a row as well. Well done if any of you had Van de Ven. 23 pointer is absolutely insane. And that's the second biggest score that any player has achieved this season. Timber with 24 points, the biggest so far. By the way, I was looking at the top scoring players each week this season, and 6 of the 9 have been defenders. So 2/3 of the top scoring players are defenders this season in game weeks. Have a guess how many were defenders at this stage last season? It was just 1, and it was Keane who became the first defender in game week 9 as well. Quite an interesting observation. Anyway, a green arrow to 633k, 2 transfers made already. So let me run you through what I've done and whether there's some scope to make further transfers. We'll have a quick look at how you got on first. EJ says 23 points overall. Same score that Van de Ven got. Not a single player returned, not even on the bench. And he says, ironically, this exact team scored 91 points the game week before. It really goes to show how much variance there is in this game, and we have to keep that at the back of our heads after a bad week. You can pick a great team and you can get the points like he did 2 weeks ago, and the next week you can get nothing. Ulti had a huge week, says 76 points, and I went from 1.5 million to 500k. Massive green arrow that. It's a cliche that I do sometimes repeat, but it is true. One big week can change everything in FPL. Like, we've had teams sent in before where, you know, again, they've gone 500k to top 50k in one good week. It's always quite inspiring to hear those stories, because it always makes you think, hopefully next week it's my turn. FPL TFS suffered some bench pain like hundreds of thousands did last week. Quite extreme though, this one. He says, don't mind the bench. Dubravka, Sarr, Rodon and Van de Ven benched for exactly 40 points on the bench. That's incredibly unlucky. And lastly, Anand, who says, best single game week score I've ever had. 107 points all out. He also had Rodon and Van de Ven on the bench, but used the bench boost. He even captained Mbeumo over Haaland, which went unbelievably well with 30 points from Mbeumo. Nice work. Thanks for all the submissions. So let's run through the team, the changes made for Game Week 10 and other planned transfers. If you'd like to follow my team and FPL tips this season, make sure you hit subscribe. It's free and I'll be posting daily FPL content to help you do well. In goal, it's of course Raya who faces Burnley away, who are bottom in the league for expected goals this season with 6.82 in total. They've only had 8 big chances in 9 games, which is also worst, and 53 chances created, also rock bottom. Can Arsenal go another week without conceding? If you were to plot non-penalty XG conceded and shots against per game on a chart, Arsenal is such a ridiculous outlier or anomaly, they almost don't fit on the graph. Newcastle also showing up fantastic here, as are Leeds by the way, who are near Man City, which is really impressive. A change in defence has been made. It's Munoz, Gabriel and Mukiele. This was a really big call and I spent a really long time going back and forth on this one. If you have a look at my transfer history, I made the transfer at something like 12:30 at night, or in the morning I suppose. It was a big call because it was Senesi that left the team to make way for Munoz. I was a bit late to the Senesi train, so I actually only made 0.1 million profit when I sold him, and if I do decide to buy back in a few weeks time, I'll only lose 0.1 million maximum. The big talking point this week is of course Palace, because of their turn in fixtures. There's a world where he could be a 10+ week hold for me until the new year. Now the thing is, I did have the choice to buy Richards or Lacroix instead, which would have allowed me to keep Senesi, and Lacroix I really rate for only 5 million. I prefer him to Richards. FPL is just all about trying to put yourself in a position to get lucky, and Munoz just strikes me as that type of player. He plays like a winger. His shot heat map this season actually resembles Salah's shot map even. 2.62 expected goal involvement is basically the same as Kudus, who's on 2.65. Munoz's 2.62 XGI is higher than Foden, Rice, Reinders and Gordon. I like to sort of tell myself as well, it's kind of like having an extra midfielder that also gets you clean sheet points with someone like Munoz. So yeah, this week I guess it's a 2-5-3 formation almost. Looking at the past 2 seasons, 12 goal contributions is first in the league among defenders. 48 shots is also first. 49 chances created from open play is first. 141 touches in the opponent's box is first. Gabriel is now the top scoring defender with 68 points, and at current pace he'd be on for about a 280 point season, which of course won't happen, but it does go to show how ridiculously good he and the Arsenal defence have been. 55% clean sheet odds this week is top. Fulham are second with 40%, Newcastle 38%, Man City 36%, Palace a bit further down 31%. But yeah, I mean, a clean sheet is almost a bonus with Munoz. Like last season he had 11 clean sheets and he had about the same in terms of goal involvements with 10. So 21 returns basically last season. I forgot to talk about defcons actually. Munoz has hit defcon points in only a third of his games. Senesi's been incredible, and it wasn't a transfer without risk because he's been so good in terms of defcons per 90, and there is that fixture swing in Gameweek 12 after they faced Man City and Villa. 12.76 per 90 for Senesi. Mukiele starts for me this week and he's playing Everton home and he's third among defenders after Van Dijk. There is a world where I actually buy Van Dijk in Gameweek 12 or 13 rather than Senesi, and I basically just run with that set and forget back 3, which would be Van Dijk, Munoz and Gabriel. Anderson's on 11.4 per 90. If he's without a shadow of a doubt fit and available for Gameweek 10, then I'll start him instead over Mukiele. Lacroix's on 11.1 per 90, which is very good, and Richards not far behind Lacroix. Richards not in Palace's midweek squad for the League Cup with a minor injury. In midfield it's Ndiaye, Semenyo, Bruno and Enzo. Not the best start to life as an Enzo owner, a 2-1 home loss to Sunderland and an Enzo blank as well. Palmer reportedly not too far away from return as well. I guess it'd be after the international break, but yeah, Enzo's an easy hold for a while for sure. It's Spurs away next, which could be a more open game. Despite the blank, or besides defcons, I was pleased with Bruno's performance against Brighton. He very much passed the eye test. 5.91 expected goal involvement this season is more than any midfielder, but of course a couple of pens in there. By the way, all the data that I mentioned in these videos and that player comparison with Munoz earlier, etc. is all from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. Use the link below to get 40% off membership. And the code FFSFocal5 gets you a bonus 5% off as well. That's in the description as well. So it is attacker versus defender with Ndiaye versus Mukiele. It does happen sometimes. Hopefully I get a return from one or the other. Ndiaye's actually been remarkably good for defcons, which I didn't expect. I didn't know he was so good defensively, honestly. He's on 10.85 defcons per 90 this season. Bruno's just in front of 10.91 as well. For comparison, like defensive mids like Palhinha and Xhaka are averaging similar numbers per 90 to Ndiaye and Bruno. You could make the case for benching Semenyo this week as an aggressive play given he's got Man City away, especially if you've got a strong bench. Right now, he looks capable of scoring against anyone. In fact, not even right now. Some of you might remember last season I had Semenyo for the majority of the season and I had him for 5.5 mil then, and he kept scoring against top teams whenever I benched him. I benched his goals against Man City, Chelsea, and I think it was Forest and Man United. Up front is the second change that I've made. It's Mateta, Haaland and Gyökeres. Did you know Crystal Palace are the top team in the league for expected goals this season? Quite remarkable really. 17.84 is top. Man United is second with 16.68, which is actually also a bit surprising. Like if you didn't know that already, there's no way you'd name those two as the top two. Did you know Mateta's had more big chances with 15 than João Pedro has shots taken in total all season with 11? Only Haaland's registered a higher XGI than Mateta this season, so it is a move that just makes sense, but FPL is a very random game and João Pedro could finally start delivering again. I mean, it's what happened before when I sold Rodgers and Watkins after those 5 blanks anyway. Just on early transfers, because obviously the general advice is to avoid them. I do very rarely make them, but I was in quite a strong position where I had 4 free transfers and I felt that there was enough of a team value swing up for grabs to consider it. I didn't have that many players involved midweek because it's League Cup, not Champions League. It is risky though, and most of the time it's not a risk I take. Also, if I still want to buy Saka, it's potentially very tight for money as well, so that was at the back of my head. Arsenal's 2.3 projected goals is top this week for Gameweek 10, or joint top with Man City in fact. Gyökeres, I have to say, is on borrowed time now. A switch to Saka could be on the cards, or maybe in Mbeumo. Before he goes to AFCON, I'd still get like 5-6 games out of him. Going for Mbeumo would free up the money for Van Dijk from Gameweek 12 or 13. It is madness to sell Gyökeres before Burnley away though, so he's staying for another week. Haaland captain again this week. Bournemouth home, an amazing fixture, and to be honest, it's probably going to be set and forget Haaland for a while. I mean, Gameweek 11 actually, Man City have got Liverpool, which last season I think would have been a more tempting fixture to change captaincy, but I think this season Liverpool home is not a terrible fixture, especially in their current form. So yeah, it'll be Haaland for a while I imagine. So the bench is Dubravka, Anderson, Stack and Rodon. Anderson also not in the midweek League Cup squad with an injury for Fulham. There might be a chance that he plays in Gameweek 10, and if that happens then the Munoz move was a bit less pressing this week because I could have played Anderson, Gabriel, Mukiele back three, which is pretty solid. It was a difficult spot to be in because waiting would potentially mean not being able to afford to buy Saka, as I say. That may or may not be what I want to do, but if I do want to buy Saka, then I want to leave the option open, hence the early moves. There are a couple of routes to Saka, let me just walk you through them on Plan FPL. One of them is selling Gyökeres to Thiago, this would be in like Game Week 12 or 13, and then Enzo to Saka, and then Stack down to a 4.5mm mid like King, or it could be something like Ndai to Minte. That would be 3 transfers, and I'd be on a 3-4-3. Another option for a 3-5-2 is Gyökeres to Gw, Stack to Saka, and then Ndai or Enzo to Minte. Both of those paths require 3 free transfers, and as I said, I'd probably do it in Game Week 12 or 13 if I do. I've still got 2 free transfers right now after making those 2 moves. I was on 4. I've only got 0.1 million in the bank though, so the obvious thing to do is to roll the other transfers, so that's the plan. Hopefully no issues pop up midweek in the League Cup or training or whatever, because in theory I could roll in Game Week 11 as well to take me back to 4 free transfers. Thanks very much for watching, and if you'd like to follow my team and get FPL tips this season, make sure you hit subscribe below. It's completely free and I post daily FPL content for you. See you soon for the next one.